Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Migrant channel. You can call me the Migrant. First of all, happy new academic year 2025 to 2026 everyone. How have you been? I've been good. I've been okayish. I've had a bit of a rough patch with quite low energy due to anemia and a bit of personal matters, but it's the reason why I haven't been so consistent, but I'm feeling a bit better, and I do hope that from now on I will be more regular with my uploads. So for this segment or episode, whatever you want to call it, I decided to I thought I would start the new year or the new academic year with something that I think might help some of you that may be looking for accommodation. It's something to do with my student housing experience. So I'm going to be comparing my university accommodation, so Strathclyde University accommodation versus private student accommodation, Clyde House, where I am now. So in my first year, was stressed out just after I got offered a place. That's exactly the reason why I decided to do this topic, because I know that finding accommodation can be so stressful. It can take away that little happiness just after you've been offered a place, a university place, and then now you have to think about, where am I going to stay during my study year or during my studies. So that's the reason I decided to do this, because I think it might be helpful to some. As I said, it can be quite stressful imagine if you're an international student moving from one country to another, or even moving from one city to another within the same country. It's really can be stressful to find accommodation in a new city or new country. So that's why I thought I would do this, and I thought it might be helpful. So without wasting so much of your time, I'll go through what I liked and what I didn't like about each place. Hopefully it helps you make informed choices or decisions. So I'm going to be comparing Andrew Hall, which was accommodation I was in for the first year. It's a University of Strathclyde student accommodation, university accommodation. I'm going to be comparing this with Clyde House, which is a private student accommodation, okay? So I'm going to start with, say, the location. To start with, I'm going to try and put some pictures of each building so you can have an idea what they look like. I'm going to talk about the cost as well. And, I'll be more than happy to talk about, if you message me about, the websites where you can find these accommodations. So let's get started. Clyde Hall is about 20-minute walk from or to the campus. It's a bit further. It's much closer to a park, a really nice park, and closer to the city center and high street shopping area. So it's great if you like, shopping, if you like restaurants and that kind of bars, and even for those kind of Instagram walks or pictures along the river. I think it would be really nice for that. And Andrew Hall, on the other hand, is only 6 minutes walk from campus, depending on which part of the campus you're going to. But from my room, it would normally take, if I was going to, for example, where the registration area the main part of the university, of the campus is, it would take me 6 minutes. But if I was going further, let's say to the library or to the gym, it would take me about 10 minutes of a fast walk. And it's uphill as well from High Street, where Andrew Hall is. There are a number of other university accommodation buildings that are within the actual campus, but this is off campus, but within 5-6 minutes walk off the campus. Yeah. So that's the difference in terms of the distance. And they're both about the same distance, 20 to 30 minutes walk to Buchanan bus station, which is the main bus station in Glasgow. By the way, we're talking about Glasgow City here, where University of Strathclyde is located. I think a bonus is that really the park and the river are really close to both student accommodations, whether it's Clyde Hall, which is private accommodation, or Andrew Hall, which is university accommodation. They're just perfect in terms of walking and spending time there. So in terms of cost, both of them, they include bills, internet, electricity, and all of that, which of course helps with budgeting. Andrew Hall was £724 per month for if you were taking 52 weeks, like the whole academic year, which is about £6,300 per year. And so 724 per month. That's what it cost me. Clyde House. I keep saying Clyde Hall when it's actually Clyde House. Clyde House, which is private, is 100 more expensive. It's 820, somewhere there, 823, 825, I don't remember, but it's in the early 820s. And that means it's £1,000 more expensive per year. But I think you'll see why as we keep going. I'm gonna try and fly through this. Clyde Hall definitely wins in my opinion, because I was looking for something where someone mature like me, a mature student, would feel comfortable in. Somewhere peaceful, a self-contained place. It's got a small gym within the building. It's got a study room. It's got a games room, a social area or a space for socializing, meeting hall, bike storage room, as well as bins room. Okay, nothing exciting about that. It also does have a laundry room, just like the other accommodation as well, but at an extra fee. I think it's about £5 per wash and £5 to dry as well. And then there's an ironing room where there's an ironing board and an iron as well. So the two accommodation, that is the same. I just found when I was in Andrew Hall that the app that we use for using laundry wasn't working well, but with Clyde Hall I found it to be straightforward. But that's a small thing that can be solved, no problem. Clyde Hall is also, I found the finishings are a bit more modern. Each studio is self-contained. I think it's all postgrad students. Okay, I could be wrong. But I think a lot of people that I've seen there that I've spoken to seem to be postgrad students. And, the whole building has studios, different size of studios. Some are deluxe, some are small studios, but they are all studios, which is a self-contained own little place, even if it's a one room and with its own bathroom and kitchen, but it's a self-contained place, which is really huge. For me, this was very important. And it also has its own, in terms of furniture, it came with a comfortable double bed, with a unique storage underneath. I really, really like it. A 2-door wardrobe, very generous desk in terms of space, a chair. Okay, they're not very mad about the chair. I think the Andrew Hall chair was much better. It was like a proper study chair, but the desk is really nice. I also like that it's got its own kitchenette, as I've emphasized this, with a 2-plate cooker, a microwave, a 2-in-1 kind of a microwave, which you can also grill in or kind of bake in if you're baking chicken, for example, not like baking scones. It's got lots of cupboards and a small fridge. It's got a full mirror within the room, and the bathroom and shower, which is a half mirror as well. That's really, really nice. Whereas with Andrew Hall, the whole place was shared. It was a 6-bedroom flat shared with 5 other postgrad students. I mean, when I say postgrad, they're all like in their, mid-20s to, maybe to somewhere 26, 27, somewhere there. But they were all young compared to me, that I moved in there in my 45th year. So I had, over 20-something years of working and and renting on my own. So to be sharing that kind of a place, I didn't mind. It was nice to meet everyone and chat with different people from different countries. However, some of them, it was their first time to live away from home for the first time, so they really didn't have an idea about what sharing with others means. For example, cooking your food and let it spill all over the cooker and leave it like that, or just using any bin for things, whether it's a recycling or not. There was a lot of that just frustrated me. But other than that, really, we got on well with flatmates. So it was a 6-bedroom flat, and so I shared with 5 other postgrad students. That had a big shared kitchen area, a shared living room, which had 2 sofas and a TV and coffee table. And we shared the bathrooms as well. There were 2 bathrooms, really nice. And the place was warm, like well heated. So if you're coming from if afraid of the cold, coming from warmer regions, you won't have to worry about being cold, because when inside it's really warm, well heated. So we've talked about the furniture and the setup. So in Andrew Hall, which is the university accommodation, the bed was a really small single bed, and the wardrobe was just a 2-door wardrobe, the same as the other place, but the bed was really small. It was a metal kind of frame bed, and you could push stuff under the bed for extra space, like a suitcase or some shoes, whatever. But it was a really, really small room. It had a wash basin and a half mirror within the room. But for bathroom and shower, you had to use it, share it in the hallway with others. The hallway of the unit, not like somewhere in the corridor of the building. No, within the same flat. And there were really big fridges, 2 of them, lots of cupboard spaces in Andrew Hall. What else was there? Yeah, the room had a desk and a chair and a lamp, which I really, really liked. But it was really, really small. What else was there? That's all that Andrew Hall had. And both places had TVs, though there was no cable subscription. But just, if you wanted to cast or use the cables, not even cast, use the cables to connect to, say, play a movie from your laptop or something like that, you could do that. But I never used the one in Andrew Hall, because it was in the living room, which was shared with everyone. But now, because my place at the new place is self-contained, I could, I've used that TV. In both places, you'd need to bring your own pots, pans, cutlery, utensils, and all of that. They didn't provide anything. Andrew Hall was definitely livelier in terms of knowing what's happening on campus, in terms of what's happening with the students' union. There was always something going on. It had a strong sense of, university community. Whereas the other place, I've seen students here and there just down the stairs when I'm coming in or going out, but it's not like we go to the same universities. All students in there are from different universities and colleges nearby. So, I find that if you prefer calmer atmosphere, Clyde Hall might be a place for you. In terms of support, security and maintenance of the building, Andrew Hall's staff accommodation or housing staff were always on campus, which is 6 minutes walk from our accommodation. But there were resident assistant students were assistants if you needed something out of hours. I think there was a number that you could call or whatever if there was an issue. Clyde Hall, the private accommodation, student accommodation, has a small security office within as you enter the building. It also acts as a place to go to if you're having any issues. So, but both buildings are really secure. You access them with the keys or fob or, things like those. I really never had any issues except on New Year's Eve when I had a delivery when I was in Andrew Hall and my delivery was left. This was left outside the door, not even the door of the unit or of our flat, but the door of the building outside, which anybody can access, because anybody walking by, they can just walk past the door. I think that was an issue with the delivery company, really nothing to do with. So my stuff was stolen, but it was also on Christmas Eve. So I can absolutely understand why that would happen, because it was left outside, which is a public place. But other than that, both places are really safe. In terms of the lease, they both have 46-week or 52 weeks option. I think there's a 51 weeks as well, which I don't understand. 51 and 52. Like, why would you take 51 weeks instead of 52 weeks? I don't know. But anyway, they both have 46 or 52 weeks contract. The only issue I had when I was moving out, I had the wrong date, and I discovered that I ended up moving 3 days late, which of course I understood that was my fault. My fault. I take responsibility for that. I was charged extra for the 3 days that I delayed moving out but I still didn't feel that the hostility that I was met with when I tried to explain this to the university housing team, what happened and all of this, which is like, the hostility was just another level. I just felt it was so disproportionate. But anyway, it was my fault to not have missed the date I was supposed to move out to. So they won't be friendly with you if it's your day to move out today and you forgot about it. You really need to remember that. So always double check your contract move out date and put it somewhere on the wall where you can see it every day when you wake up. And coming close to the end of this, so the laundry is what I'll talk about next, which I think I've touched on. It's a pay-as-you-go, pay-as-you-use kind of service in both, and communal washing machines and dryers. It's in the basement of the building in Clyde Hall, and in Andrew Hall, it's kind of not within the building, but within the yard, like one of those sheds in the building, in the yard, in the courtyard of the building. You access it with a code. Whereas with Clyde Hall, it's in the basement. You just go in there and you select the app, and then your wash options and all of that. It's an extra service that you pay for as you use. The last bit, I think, is the deposit. With Clyde Hall, they required £350 deposit to come with the first month rent, which I had to pay. There was no any other way to negotiate it. But I think Andrew Hall, because it was university accommodation, I think the deposit was around 200. And they just, when I said I didn't have, they wanted it up front. I remember it was, I think it was August, in the summer though, when I was going to start in October, or 4 weeks in advance or something like that. But they did contact me asking me to secure a place, my place that they'd offered me to pay the 200 or something like that. But I didn't have, they'd given me, I think, like 7 days to pay that, and I didn't have the £200 on me right away. So I contacted them to say, was there another way around this? And then they said, okay, they would spread it across my rent. So it didn't feel like a deposit, even if it was there. To come think of it, I think I need to contact them and see if they gave me back that, because you're supposed to get that back. I didn't remember it much because they spread it across my rent, so I didn't feel it was like a separate deposit, if it makes sense. But yeah, that was helpful that I was able to negotiate that with them. And I think, just to conclude, both accommodations really, as you can tell, they have their strengths and weaknesses or whatever. It really depends on your priorities. If you're a younger person and you want to hang out with other friends, you've been living at home with parents, this is your first time to actually be out in a university somewhere with people your age, it would make sense to want to live in a 6-bed flat or 4-bed flat where you can have 3, 4, 5 flatmates. that you'll see more often in the corridor, in the kitchen, and hang out with, maybe share some food with. That's great. I'm up for that. I wish I had such kind of opportunities when I was younger, but I only went to university in my 30s, so I never had a chance to really hang out with younger people my age then. So for a young person, I would say accommodation like the university accommodation would be best, because this is where you can meet other people, socialize. But for people older, mature students like myself, those who still want to hang out and with others, extra extroverts, that would be great. But for me, I just want to do my, what I'm there to do, my studying, and talk to my PhD colleagues when I need to, whatever. But most of the time, I just want to continue doing my adult life in my own little self-contained space. So that suits me better. So all in all, really, I think, it depends on what your priorities are. If you're younger and you want to hang out with others, a multi-room or multiple rooms kind of accommodation or setting would be good for you. If you want peace and quiet, definitely Clyde Hall would be for you. Although it costs £100 more per month, or roughly 1,000 extra per year. In my case, I'm lucky because my stipend, which is part of the scholarship, covers that. There's no way I would ever have ended up here without a scholarship or a stipend. So that gives me a bit of peace of mind and gives me that privacy that I need. So I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope it was useful. I hope it will be useful. And thank you so much for listening. Please do join the conversation, be part of this accommodation kind of conversation. Let me know what you'd like to hear about next time. My whether it's my university life in Glasgow, anything that you're looking to know. If let's say you've been offered a place, you would like to know a number of things before coming, I will be more than happy to guide you. Whatever tips, if you're looking to know which websites to find student accommodation on, just message me. I'll be more than happy to. And if you found this helpful, you think it can be of help to someone else, please do share the link, like the video, and subscribe to the Migrant channel. As you can see, maybe I have only just 17 or 20 subscribers, so you'll be part of growth if you do that. Your support will really, really make a difference. It will help me grow. So thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care and have a very good day. Bye.